What is up, everyone? StonePost 34 here, bringing you more of Growing Up with StonePost. This is the story I was telling you about. This may be a little mature for some of the people in the audience, so if you're under the age of, let's say, 16, you may want to turn it off. So, anyway, this is a story about a girlfriend I had after college, and I had a full-time job. She had a full-time job, and what went wrong? We actually didn't get along real well towards the end, and which was kind of unusual with most of my relationships. Of course, it was me, not them, you know. But anyway, let's jump into the story. So I dated this girl for about 10 months, and it started out so great. I mean, when you get to that age, you start thinking, man, is this the one? And so I had a lot of those thoughts. I thought, this could be the one. And I got to tell you, she just got out of a relationship probably too early for us to get together, but we were friends before. It just kind of happened. And so we started dating. We dated for about 10 months, and then it started getting really ugly. She started getting kind of possessive, bossy. It didn't work. So we broke up. And when we broke up, it was on a bad note. I mean, it was the only girl that's ever cussed at me. She broke up with me. She's cussing at me, tells me to get the hell out, and some other choice words that I won't use. So I do. And she says, and by the way, I don't want you going out to this bar we always went out to this weekend. I'm like, what? We just broke up. I mean, what? Apparently she had this planned. She goes, I'm going out with my girlfriends. We've already rented the limo. We're going to this bar. I don't want to see you there. And I always went there with my brother every Saturday. It's a public place. Why can't I go there? That's a little ridiculous. So I don't go, and I call my brother. I'm like, dude, I said, it's bad. I said, it's worse than it's ever been. And she's telling me not to go out to this bar. And he's like, that's fine. And at the time, my brother and I played competitive pool. I haven't played pool in a while. Pretty good pool player, but we played competitive pool. So my brother's like, man, let's just go to the pool hall. We'll just chill out, have some beers, and kick it live. So we did. Well, this was an interesting pool hall. This was a kind of had I don't know, it's hard to explain. Let's just leave it at that. It was a pool hall, but also, they played music. It got lively, and it was just a lot of fun, and I enjoyed the game of pool. So we show up. We get there about 9 o'clock at night, and we're just chilling, and I'm commiserating with my brother. I'm like, man, this is just not, I just never had it go down like this just went down. And my brother's like, just don't worry about it. So we're chilling out, playing, and we played for about $5 a stick. If that's $5 a game. And, we always made a little bit of money, didn't make a lot, lost a little bit of money, didn't lose a lot. So we're just there hanging out. And these two girls come up, and they are next to us at the pool table. And one of them's pretty darn cute, which is unusual for this establishment. And we don't talk really at that point, and come to find out, after about a half hour, we start talking. Well, they're sisters and we're brothers, so I'm like, yeah, cool. We had a lot in common. Next thing you know, we're playing pool together, and it's $5 a stick, and then we're just joking, and then of course other things come up in wagers of what would happen if you lose, like pieces of clothing, stuff like that. It got real flirtatious really quick. So long story short, so this goes on. We got there about 9. That started about 10:30. We stay there till 2 o'clock in the morning. Things are happening. I mean, hands are flying. She goes over to the jukebox, turns on some music. We're dancing maturely by the pool table, and get a little handsy, get a little fresh, and she looks at me. It's like, time to go home. And I'm like, yeah, we got to run. We rode together. And she goes, do you want to ride home? I'm like, hang on. So I go over to my brother. I'm like, hey, I'm getting a ride home. Are you cool with that? He's like, with who? And I'm like, with her. He's like, are you kidding me? I'm like, dude, I said, I know what you're thinking. I said, I'm not saying it's right, but yeah, I'm getting a ride home. So I go home with this girl, and I do remember we're sitting on the couch, we're watching Sports Center, and we're just chilling out. We're having a beer, like some Natural Light, some just horrible beer. If you drink beer, you know what I'm talking about. And so we're just chilling, And she looks at me, and I'm like, I haven't even kissed the girl. I mean, we've been grinding and bumping and stuff on the pseudo made up dance floor, but I haven't even kissed her. And she looks at me. It's like 1 o'clock, and I'm pretty shy, I guess, with girls. And she's like, "Do you want to go to bed?" I'm like, "What?" I'm like, "Yeah." So next thing I know, I go to the kitchen, put my beer can, empty it, and turn the corner, walk in, and her sister actually lives with her. And I walk in, and she is completely naked. I kid you not. Birthday suit, that's all she had on. I'm like, are you kidding? And she was hot. Long story short, you could fill in the blanks there. I spent the night. It was a blast. And I got up. I actually left at like 4 in the morning. And I talked to her. I was like, I got to get out of here. Got home at like 4 in the morning. Well, this was a Saturday night. And I'd forgotten my watch there, and which was fine because I had gotten her phone number at this point. And so I'm chilling at work the next day, and she worked in town too. And one of the secretaries calls me back in my office, beeps on the intercom, and she says, "Greg, there's something up front for you." I'm like, "What? There's something up front for me? I didn't order anything, UPS." She sent me flowers to work. Now, mind you, that's not a huge deal. Let's step back a second. I didn't tell you this. She is good friends. My ex-girlfriend is good friends with the woman who has the office right next to me. Nonetheless, get this. Here's what the flowers are. They're pussy willows and birds of paradise and some other flowers that you can read some other stuff into. And literally 15 minutes later, I get a phone call at the office. And I'm like, hello, it's my ex-girlfriend. She's like, "I heard you got flowers." And I'm like, "Yeah, so?" She said, "What are those for?" I said, "Well, I just met this girl last Saturday when you told me I couldn't go where I usually go. And yeah, she sent me flowers." She flips out. She's like, "What happened?" I'm like, "Nothing happened. No, we just chilled out, and I think we're going to go out again." And she went from flipped out to turned on the charm. My ex-girlfriend turned on the charm. We need to talk. We need to get together. We need to, I think we can work this out. And at that time, guys, I was still head over heels for her. And, even though I had this little rendezvous, so to speak, unintentionally and unplanned rendezvous, I still had feelings for her. So I called the girl I just met, and I'm like, "I told you I had a girlfriend." She knew. I said, I told you I just broke up with her, but I think we're going to try to get back together. And she was really cool. And we did try to get back together. Long story short, I met her for lunch, got my watch, and my ex-girlfriend and I tried to get back together. I think it lasted like 30 more days, if that. It was a nightmare, guys. It was horrible. But the other girl, we wound up dating on and off for a little bit. So that worked out too. She wound up moving to another town. I had a conference, went and spent, a whole weekend with her. I mean, just a blast. So anyway, guys, that's a quick story, adult story, a little bit censored. I didn't want to give you too many of the adult details, but of me growing up and getting dumped and getting a little revenge. So take care as always. This is StonePost 34.